don't tread on us. We're not afraid. You work for us. We're not your slaves. Don't tread on us. You crossed the line. Soon you will pay for all your crimes.
Big scream right now if you're going out on the convoy. Oh, okay, fantastic. All right, that's great. Lena's going to tell you a little bit about her story and what she's all about, and of course give us some words of encouragement for everyone across America. We're on the live stream as well, so be sure to say hello to everyone on the stream.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a speech, so the first thing that I have to say is, and please excuse my voice being a little shaky, I'm not a hero. I'm an American. That is why we went out there on that first Sunday, June 29th, when my husband told me as I was cooking breakfast, this is what's happening in our town. What we've been seeing happening in Texas, what we've seen happen in Arizona, this is going to come here. First thing I said was, why? Here? Exactly like Pete said, we have a border patrol facility? I didn't know that. This isn't a big enough town, but okay. My husband went to work, and I'm watching my children play, and I'm getting angry. And I'm thinking, no thank you. No thank you, federal government. I don't want that here, and I don't want that for my children. My husband came home. He asked, what are we going to do about this? And I said, I don't know. He said, well, I think some people are rallying in front of the BP station. Let's go out. So we made 2 signs and we went out. We didn't know we'd see anybody else there. We came across 25 other Murrieta residents. And I loved meeting those people. Some of them that I can now call friends. They were unknown neighbors, but they are now our friends. And we were out there. We didn't know what to expect or what was going to happen. But we knew that as Americans, we had the right to say no thank you. We had the right to get together and let our voices, though they may have been small that first day, let them be heard. Monday that followed, June 30th, my husband went out there all by himself, came home looking like a lobster. But he was out there with his sign, just keeping a presence, letting the BP facility and the agents know that we supported them. We support what they are doing. We feel like their hands were tied. July 1st, the day that this little town stood up like giants and roared like lions, we were out there with our signs, with those flags, the red, the white, the blue, and everything that it stood for. The 7 seconds that the world saw on television, that does not define my neighbors and my friends. That is not who we are. The opposition wants to say that we're racist. I do not have the capacity to be racist. I'm Central American born. I had no choice when I was 4.5 years old to come here. My father was given a choice. Come here illegally and keep your family intact, or come here legally and go without your wife and the mother of your children for God knows how long. 2 little girls were without a mother and a husband without his wife for 1 month because my father chose to come here legally. So as we stood out there on July 1st, I was standing out there as a mother defending a country for her babies. I was standing out there as a Central American who didn't have a choice, but did right by this country that gave my father opportunities. I've been working in this country since I was 13 years old. When the opposition says that they come here to do the jobs that we don't want to do, I believe them. You know why? I've done those jobs. Since I was 13 years old, I've worked in hotels. I've cleaned up alleyways and off the sides of buildings, but I worked. And when I was old enough I didn't ask for my father's blessing. I walked myself down to the federal building and I filled out those papers because since the day that we arrived here, when I was 4.5 years old, I was an American. I believe in everything that our founding fathers laid out for us. I believe in upholding the Constitution. There are many times that I do not feel that I bleed red. I bleed red, white, and blue. So when you want to say that we're angry to the opposers, yes, we are. Yes, I am. If I can do it, if my family can do it the right way, why can't you? To be here 30 days later, I feel so proud. This is a completely organic, grassroots movement to see you all standing out there. To have the world take notice of this tiny town. To me, this is tiny. I grew up in that sanctuary city of LA. This is a tiny town. And you guys, we made the world take notice. I've lost friends. I can't talk to certain family members because of what I believe in. But every day that I look at my children, I know that I made the right choice to go out there and stand out there and to say, no, thank you. We have to keep doing this. If Murrieta set an example, then let the border convoy, let everyone who can take the example across the country and let other towns know you are not alone. To that mother in Houston that was asking, what about our children? I asked that question. We won't quit. You're right. We won't quit because as long as my children are growing up in this country, it is my divine right to fight for what is right for them. I understand that some of those women and some of those children did not have a choice. I didn't. I understand that they may be used as pawns, and this is what I have to say. Let's continue to say, no thank you. This is my story. I'm not a hero. I'm an American, and we have to continue doing this. Thank you.
I was very motivated and driven when I saw pictures of men and women standing out in front of those buses with American flags. And also standing among Murrieta Police Department, who I've now discovered to be some of America's finest law enforcement officials. I've learned that myself, okay? It's those peace officers that protected those peaceful protesters. And you know, what a hero is to me is what Murrieta residents did on that day on July 1st, and standing up and saying enough is enough, not in my community, and doing so not just for themselves and their families, but on behalf of all Americans. That requires a lot of courage. There was a lot of uncertainty. A man who is serving our nation in a way that we won't fully realize for even years to come. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to introduce a gentleman named Ron Zermino.
Hello, neighbors. Thank you. My name is Ron Zermino. Most of you know me and my family. I gave an oath to protect this country back in 1978 when I enlisted in the Air Force. In 1995, when I retired from the Air Force and took another oath, enlisted in the U.S. Border Patrol. On July 1st, I was again upholding my oath. Some have criticized my actions on that day, and I even been disciplined for it. But I still hold strong that I was upholding my oath to this country. I want to talk to you about what occurred on July 4th, 2014, through my eyes, what I saw. How I feel it's going to be part of the American history, because time will tell. Murrieta is on the books. I saw women and children, young and old, grandmothers, grandfathers, soccer moms, dads, of all ethnic backgrounds, come together to protect their community from harm, and protect those who were not being treated humanely. I saw these patriots do this in a peaceful and lawful manner. I witnessed those critics attempt to incite the peaceful patriots. I witnessed the shameful actions and comments of these critics to family members of Jamil Shaw. Let me tell you about Jamil Shaw. Some of you probably don't know about him, and hopefully today you'll understand. In 2008, Jamil was walking home. This kid was 17 years old, prominent football player, and he had a promising career. He was only not even blocked from his house. An 18th Street gang member named Pedro Espinoza shot Jamil in the stomach. As Jamil laid on the ground, helpless, Pedro went up and executed him. Pedro came to this country as an illegal alien. This family was there on July 1st, protesting illegal aliens. As Jamil's family was responding to the battering from these critics, I watched the woman collapse in front of them, and they didn't give aid. They stood there, and I swear it looked like they laughed. Myself and another agent that works with me, we picked her up and we walked her over to you guys. We put her in the shade, and you guys gave her water, and you gave her aid, and you gave her comfort, because you realized she was a patriot as well. I want to address those critics that don't know the truth and have rushed to judge you, specifically the citizens of Marietta. How they are quick to call all those that oppose their views racist. I disagree with these critics. I call all of you compassionate patriots. These critics don't know why you gathered on July 1st. I do. You gathered to express your constitutional rights. You're opposing the use of facility on two issues. The first was a compassionate one. You knew the facility of Marietta was not adequate to provide safe and sanitary accommodations for women and children. Your own elected officials told you that. Not me. They did, right? In addition, it was stated by the media prior to July 1st that these people that were coming across illegally from Central America were in dire need of medical aid, screening, care, treatment for infectious diseases, infectious pests, infestations such as lice and scabies. We were seeing for the first time in this country bird flu, swine flu, chickenpox, TB. These critics don't know why. You gotta forgive me. This is pretty emotional for me. You were informed by these elected officials that they offered the agency to provide a mobile hospital to provide care for these people. And this mobile hospital is going to be manned by doctors and nurses. They were going to be able to screen them, treat them, and provide inoculations. And guess what? At no cost to the federal government. This Riverside County was going to assume the cost of this to provide assistance, to make sure to protect their citizens as well as these people that were coming here. Guess what the agency said? Exactly. They said no. You tell me if that's humane treatment. So you as citizens rose up. You feared for your health and the safety after being told that they would be released into your communities without adequate medical screening and care. Later, your fears were confirmed at a town hall meeting when you were told by the agency that there were sick children on those buses, and that these are the buses you were able to stop. The second reason is the current crisis has been created with the administration's catch and release policy, which has encouraged many to enter into this country illegally. That as a citizen of this great country, you demanded